All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I'm Sanjay Mattu. The headlines. Budget session of Parliament begins this morning with President's address to joint sitting of both houses, economic survey to be presented today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says government is open for discussion on all issues in budget session. Centre asks banks to collect annual life certificates of its pensioners from their doorsteps for continued pension. WHO declares international emergency following outbreak of novel coronavirus from China. In sports, Rani Rampal becomes first ever hockey player to win World Games Athlete of the Year award. And in cricket, fourth T20 International between India and New Zealand to be played in Wellington this afternoon. The budget session of Parliament will begin today with President Ramnath Kovind's address to a joint sitting of both the houses. The economic survey will also be tabled today, while the union budget will be presented tomorrow. The first phase of the session will conclude on the 11th of next month, while the second part of the session will begin from the 2nd of March and will end on the 3rd of April. More from our correspondent.
The budget session of Parliament is expected to be stormy as ongoing Anti-Citizenship Amendment Act protests and economic slowdown are likely to figure during the session. The session will have 31 sittings, 9 in the first part and 22 in the second part, spread over a period of 64 days. The session will mainly be devoted to the financial business relating to union budget and discussion on the motion of thanks on President's address. Key bills which are expected to be cleared during the session include Personal Data Protection Bill and Surrogacy Regulation Bill. Suparna Saikia, AIR News, Delhi.
Ahead of the session, the government yesterday held an all-party meeting to ensure the smooth functioning of both houses. Talking to the media after the meeting, Parliamentary Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi said 45 bills are likely to come up during the budget session.
टोटल 45 बिल्स है, 7 हमारा फाइनेंशियल आइटम्स है और 2 ऑर्डिनेंस भी है उसमें. इतना तो हम आइडेंटिफाई करके रखा है. ना सब बिजनेस है, ये भी हमने अपोजिशन से अवगत करा है और अपोजिशन में कई मुद्दे पर चर्चा मांगा है. वो सब चर्चा के लिए सरकार तैयार है.
Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla also held an all-party meeting last evening. During the meeting, Mr. Birla sought the support from the leaders of all the political parties and assured them of cooperation by the chair in running the House to pass legislations for the welfare of the people.
इस सत्र के अंदर सभी दलों के नेताओं ने आश्वस्त किया है कि सदन बिना व्यवधान के चले, बिना बाधित चले, सदन जनता के प्रति उत्तरदायित्व रहे. इसलिए सदन की कार्रवाई चलना चाहिए. सदन में सबको पर्याप्त समय और अवसर हर विषय पर बोलने का दिया जाएगा.
All India Radio Delhi will broadcast live from the Central Hall of Parliament President Ramnath Kovind's address to the joint sitting of both the houses. It can be heard on the Rajdhani and FM Gold channels from 10:55 a.m.
News Services Division of All India Radio is broadcasting special programs and discussions on the Economic Survey 2020. Tune into the FM Gold channel and our YouTube channel News on AIR Official for live discussion with Chief Economic Advisor Dr. Krishnamurthy Subramanian from 7:10 p.m. to 7:40 p.m. Follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts and our official Facebook page All India Radio News for quick updates round the clock.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Morning News. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that the government is open for discussion on all issues in the budget session of Parliament. Addressing an all-party meeting, Mr. Modi welcomed the suggestions of most of the members that the session should focus on the prevailing economic situation in the country. The Prime Minister urged the members to see how the country can gain from the prevailing global economic scenario. He said in the budget session and in the beginning of the new year, if Parliament and the members can give a proper direction to the country's economy, it would be in the best interests of the country. The Prime Minister said, as people's representatives, it's their responsibility to increase the productivity of the House and discuss all issues with an open mind. With only a day left for the budget to come, trade and industry bodies have many expectations from the budget. S.C. Agarwal of the Associated Chambers of Commerce and Industry, or ASSOCHAM, said, the government should take forward the disinvestment process and remove the dividend distribution tax.
Modi government target to achieve 5 trillion economy by 2024. To meet that target, and they have also declared that they are going to spend a lot of money to revive the demand on infrastructure. To create that kind of money, they have to disseminate a lot of PSUs, which the government should consider in this budget.
Praveen Khandelwal of the Confederation of All India Traders said 7 crore traders of the country have hopes that issues like simplification and rationalization of GST, modernization of retail trade, and easy access to finance for traders will feature in the budget.
We hope that this time in the budget, the issues of the traders and the trading community will find prominent place in the priority of the government. We also hope that some kind of policy will be laid down in the budget which will support and encourage the traders.
Our correspondent spoke to Mumbai-based Archana Thakur, a homemaker, to know what she's looking forward to from the budget.
नमस्कार, मैं अर्चना ठाकुर। मेरे किचन का बजट बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ गया है क्योंकि पहले से डबल खर्चा हो गया है। तो गवर्नमेंट को ये चीज पे ध्यान देना चाहिए था कि किचन का कम से कम खर्चा कंट्रोल में रहे ताकि हम लोग आगे का काम कर पाएंगे।
This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
News Services Division of All India Radio is broadcasting day-long special programs on the Union Budget 2020. Tune into FM Gold channel on 100.1 MHz and our YouTube channel News on AIR Official for the pre-budget discussion, live broadcast of the Finance Minister's speech, an exclusive interview of Finance Minister to AIR, special budget bulletins and post-budget discussions with eminent experts in our studio on 1st of February 2020 from 10 a.m. onwards. Follow us on Twitter @AIR News Alerts and our official Facebook page All India Radio News for quick updates round the clock.
Welcome back to the morning news. The World Health Organization has declared an international emergency over the novel coronavirus from China. It's a rarely used designation that could lead to improved international coordination in tackling the disease. WHO Chief Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus said that their greatest concern is the potential for the virus to spread to countries with weaker health systems. He declared the disease a public health emergency of international concern. Tedros, who travelled to China this week and met Chinese President Xi Jinping, said we must all act together now to limit the spread of the virus. Meanwhile, the death toll due to the coronavirus in China has risen to 213. It has infected around 9,700 people in China and more than 119 other countries. More from our correspondent.
The declaration of a global emergency triggers recommendations to all countries aimed at preventing or reducing cross-border spread of disease while avoiding unnecessary interference with trade and travel. From regular dissemination of information to carrying out disinfection work, from high-quality treatment of patients to ensuring essential supplies in Wuhan and a hotline, China has mounted extraordinary fight against the virus. Anshuman Mishra, AIR News, Beijing.
Britain has received clearance to evacuate around 200 of its citizens from Wuhan, the Chinese city at the epicenter of the virus outbreak. On the other hand, an A380 jet left Portugal to repatriate more than 300 EU citizens from Wuhan. In the United States, President Donald Trump has created a coronavirus task force to lead his administration's response to the virus. Kerala Health Minister K.K. Shailaja has said that the condition of the person infected with the novel coronavirus in the state is stable. The infected person was shifted to Thrissur Medical College from General Hospital last night. Presently, 1,053 people are under observation in the state, only 12 are in hospital and the rest are under home quarantine. Medical experts have advised people not to panic about the coronavirus. Participating in a talk show on AIR, Dr. Ashutosh Biswas of AIIMS Delhi said people should consult a doctor on the appearance of symptoms.
India is now detected one. We should not be worried about this disease much because the mortality is not that much high. I will advise if any symptoms like flu symptoms at this moment should go immediately to a doctor. As so close contact I would advise not to go for. And then washing hands is very important.
A group of terrorists opened fire at a police team at a toll plaza on the Jammu-Srinagar National Highway in Jammu this morning, injuring a policeman. Jammu and Kashmir DGP Dilbagh Singh said one of the ultras was killed in the ensuing gunfight while the rest managed to escape to the adjacent forest area. The firing took place around 5 a.m. when the police team stopped a Srinagar-bound truck for checking in the Ban area of Nagrota. A massive search operation has been launched to track down the terrorists. Traffic was suspended on the highway after the attack. The centre has decided that pensioners' life certificates will be collected from their doorstep, saving them the hassle of visiting pension disbursing banks. The Department of Pension and Pensioners' Welfare has taken this landmark step to make life easier for senior citizens to submit their annual life certificate for continued pension. An official statement said an amount not exceeding 60 rupees will be charged for the service. Pensioners are required to give proof of them being alive to banks every year in order to ensure continued pension. Union Minister of State for Power R.K. Singh has said that power projects worth over 20,200 crore rupees have been sanctioned for Arunachal Pradesh to resolve the power crisis. He said this while chairing a meeting in Itanagar with the Arunachal Pradesh government and various public sector undertakings to expedite hydropower projects. Mr. Singh asked all the stakeholders to work in tandem to ensure that all the projects, which are in various stages of completion, are completed well in time. The Election Commission has convened a special meeting with the Chief Electoral Officer of Delhi along with District Electoral Officers, District Commissioners of Police, Nodal Officers and the Chief Executives of local bodies this evening. The meeting will have a comprehensive review of poll preparedness for the ensuing Delhi elections and discuss all important aspects for the conduct of free and fair elections. In Uttar Pradesh, 23 children taken hostage by a murderer accused after inviting them to his daughter's birthday party have been rescued. The hostages were rescued safely during the wee hours after the police killed the captor at a village in Farokhabad. The hostage drama began at Kasaria village yesterday afternoon and continued for about 8 hours. The motive of the accused was not immediately known. Indian women's team captain Rani Rampal became the first ever hockey player to win the prestigious World Games Athlete of the Year award. The World Games announced the winner after 20 days of polling in January this year by sports fans worldwide. Last year, India won the FIH Series finals and Rani was named player of the tournament. Under Rani's leadership, the Indian women's team qualified for just the third Olympic Games in its history. In cricket, the fourth T20 International between India and New Zealand will be played today in Wellington. The match will start at 12:30 p.m. Indian time. India has already taken an unassailable 3-0 lead in the 5-match series. Spaniard Garbine Muguruza will take on American Sophia Kenin tomorrow in the final of the women's singles at the Australian Open Tennis in Melbourne. Two-time Grand Slam champion Garbine Muguruza reached the final with a tough 7-6-7-5 victory over 4th seed Simona Halep. And now for a look at today's newspapers, it's over to Nishit Kumar.
Thank you, Sanjay. The shooting incident at an anti-CAA protest in Delhi's Jamia Millia Islamia University dominates the front page headlines. On Martyrs' Day, 17-year-old fires at anti-CAA march in presence of cops, reports the Times of India. Giving details, the Asian Age writes, culprit shouted, Yelo Azadi, detained, student injured. Taking note of India's first coronavirus case, the Tribune writes, Kerala student from Wuhan, India's first confirmed coronavirus case. On the Election Commission decision against the Union Minister of State for Finance and a BJP MP from Delhi in the case of a campaign hate speech in Delhi, the Statesman reports campaign ban for BJP's Anurag Pravesh by Election Commission. Regarding the banning of stand-up comic Kunal Kamra by some airlines, the Indian Express reports Indigo pilot who flew Kamra objects to ban, asks airline to clarify. And with that, it's back to you, Sanjay.
Thank you, Nishit. That was a look at today's newspapers. And now before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Budget session of Parliament begins this morning with President's address to joint sitting of both houses, economic survey to be presented today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says government is open for discussion on all issues in budget session. Centre asks banks to collect annual life certificates of its pensioners from their doorsteps for continued pension. WHO declares international emergency following outbreak of novel coronavirus from China. In sports, Rani Rampal becomes first ever hockey player to win World Games Athlete of the Year award. And in cricket, fourth T20 International between India and New Zealand to be played in Wellington this afternoon. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.